Welcome to my city called Gentry. My name is Zagharos. I'm doing this because I want to post some questions. Of why this industrial traffic is so fucking bad. And why I can never get ahead of it. Notice my city here is churning trucks from the left and the right up this one road where they go right or left. There's no roundabout up there because it's a one-way street. They either go right or left, depending on where their factory is, on either side of this zone. Every road that you see was once filled. This is a city I destroyed every argument of industrial zone trying to solve this problem. Back here is where a rail situation sat. Back here is where a cargo hub sat. The concept of those two arguments never got used. See, I'll put them back. It's not that I don't have the cash to do so. So we'll go into the transportation argument, the first one. We'll go over to rail. And we'll put a cargo train terminal right back in here. If it'll go nicely. It should fit in there and connect the 2 points. Should be power and everything it needs too. The cargo harbor, I'll put back out here. Same concept. If it will play nicely and go in. Okay, so we're going to deal with the roads first. We're going to delete a road or two. Cargo harbor. Okay, we can plop that in. We'll do the roads again. 2-lane one-ways. Okay, those two things are back in. Alright, we'll watch the trucks. It's coming into the waste transfer point, turning around and going back out. The argument of these roads, where did I put them? Here comes a train, dropping it off. We'll see if the trucks come out of the argument. Oh yeah, they pour out. They were stuck in the queue of that building waiting for a shipment. Okay, we'll give it a couple minutes and we'll see how it argues. But somebody wanted to see my single file traffic. It's not quite single file because both lanes go up here and transfer to 2, but you see how they're all trying to jockey into one lane here. The argument of this, they're coming off the interchanges. Yeah, I used a weird one this time. Just trying to build bigger queues for dealing with this traffic. This is the other one. See, the vehicles are moving. They are transforming and getting out of the arguments and getting out of the city and arguing some twisted stuff. But my traffic is backed up through corner to corner. We're back here. This interchange gets quite busy too. This is where one of my major shopping districts are. I mean, the zonal makeup of this little thing is looks like this, if you can see the zones. But yeah, my bigger expenses is all the non-decomposition on the arguments of the what are the graveyards. I keep trying to grow this city. This city is 62,000. I have places there is no residential growth, only industrial growth. but there are way too many trucks to argue industrial growth. I mean, I've thought about spreading these arguments out, but why should I? They like the short distances to the city. I mean, the main city argues very little traffic. There is a backup because something tried to come across the city the wrong way. I can tell that. Let's see what kind of vehicles we got. We got cars and trucks. We got trash trucks. Yes, this city has 3 forms of mass transit. And pedestrians like to walk everywhere, like you can see. So, traffic isn't a major issue in most of my city. Like I said, I don't know what's causing this backup, but it looks like it's all commuters trying to get over to that shopping zone that has all the parking in it. Look at those parking lots, stuffed, chocked full. Look at the trucks coming in off the highway to argue the stocking the zone. I mean, everything I've done, I've tried to make this thing go as quickly as I could possibly do it, but everything turns. Everything's moving, but there are just too many trucks. I mean, I employ roundabouts. I mean, yeah, this is coming off the industrial zone. Like I said, coming out of the zone, it's this backup. Coming into the zone, it's this backup. And the day-night cycle changes the entire makeup of what I'm doing, too. Just sheer numbers of the arguments. I don't need roads bigger than what I got. Notice all the parking problems I have along certain roads. Yeah, parking lots are something I downloaded. I've been going through graveyards like left and right, so the argument has been that. Whoops, I don't want that road. But yeah, the graveyards are killing my expense tree. The backups like to do too much in this city. But yeah, if I go over to zones, this is what it looks like from a far away view. This is one trash area, one graveyard area. I just built another one, part of another one. But that's all the industrial zone for 60,000 people. And it's been as big as that unzoned area, too. There are no businesses arguing what I call need for goods. So the industrial zone must be the right size. But the argument of how many trucks do they really need to do what they do? I don't use any mods to argue the size of the trucks. I have something that argues the size of the trucks, the size of the trams, and the arguments this, how many tonnage they argue. But nothing argues the quantity. I thought I had traffic bans on certain things. Let me check something here. Here's TMPE version 11. 11.5 labs. I'll do this vehicle restriction argument. It's called this. I'll restrict trucks on the side roads. They only need to deliver stuff. They don't need to argue their main routes through there. It's basically what that does. My goal is to get them out to the avenues and the argument of the highways, where the larger capacities are. But single file They look like that. They have a single-minded argument going into that concept. This place deals with a lot of pedestrian traffic, so I've been dealing with it on a heavy basis. It's not like they could go across the city in 100 places. There's a bridge. I restrict trucks on it, on half of it, it looks like. But it goes all the way up here, under the bridge, and comes out here. So connections are not the issue to the industrial zone, it's the sheer volume of trucks. Trying to make it flow, trying to get the best flow, I get to this argument where I do something like this. And if you want the road makeup, it looks like this. If you can see the arrows in the video. Roundabout, roundabout. Some places don't have roundabouts anymore. They're just arguing raw concepts of getting the vehicles out. But just getting into the zone, it just argues so heavily. And I can only do so much to argue this. Somebody said each factory needs 4 resource trucks. I'm going each factory. You know, there's 5 or 6 of them here, just on one side. 6 of them times 4 is 24. Double that, you got 48. You add another 48 to that, that's 96. Just for one block. For one block. And I'm going, I never see that many resource trucks. You go zoom in on this concept. Resource trucks. No, you don't see that many resource trucks. You see box trucks, you see cars, you see garbage trucks. There's a resource truck. There's the first one. But, yeah. Something's made the number of cars. If they can't, there goes a resource truck. Sometimes you wonder if a delivery van argues, there goes an empty resource truck. Like I said, the number of vehicles. Delivery vans are numerous in this argument. I mean, let me get out of something so I can see the query tool. What is this thing? It's an ore truck. There's a resource truck. What's this thing? Ore mining truck. There goes a trash truck. The box truck is that. There goes an empty truck to go get refilled. Like I said, the resource trucks don't numer that many. I can go into any traffic flow. What's this guy doing? This empty one here. Waste processing complex. Or mining truck going to a waste processing complex. Interesting. Here's another resource truck. Oil truck importing Bruce Enterprises. The route he's going to take. He's going up here, he's going up here, he's going up here. He's going over there, he's going right there. See, I don't know what causes but he's moving. Like I said, I don't know what argues the concepts of the stupidity of the resource trucks or the industrial trucks. I really don't. I mean, I understand a high density, low density commercial and a high density would have a different demand of goods. Different demand. I mean, that explains half of this, but half of them come from outside the zone, not inside the zone. I mean, I go back to the backups, see where they are right now. I've let this city run. I kind of quit it somewhere in the process, but here's that single file traffic trying to merge into one single file. But look at this. This comes from the outside area of the zone. The border's over here. Yeah, trash complexes and things like that. Trying to get the trash trucks to go around the traffic problems. The dichotomy of whether a trash truck is a recycle vehicle or if it's a truck. I understand the two concepts, but the concept is this. It does turn the people through the zone, but the sheer number of trucks, and half of them are returning to the zone. Traffic is not heavy going off of it. This one's coming, you got them coming out of the zone. There we go, they're on the avenue. They're backed up. All the way back into the 2-lane road back here. They're going in to deliver goods, I would assume. I haven't built out this zone. This is where my industrial zone used to sit. I just reclaim it and argue it for commercials and residentials. So this argument of an industrial zone, this one's been arguing, but it's the idea of how many trucks can get through there. I've put graveyards back here to shorten the time. Parking lots are, though these parking lots are empty today. They're all arguing no goods to sell. I mean, this is the rate, the trucks on this are not even begging for a better queue. Are not even begging for a better queue. Begging for a better queue. It's just anemic. The demand on that thing is very anemic. The argument on the cargo hub is nil. I don't even see a truck coming down this way. It's anemic, yeah. There used to be a roundabout here, and this road used to connect to it. So, yeah. I've had roundabouts. Can argue larger roundabouts, too. Specialized roundabouts. I mean, if you pay attention, this goes up, all of it filters out and goes out this door. That's one big roundabout. Same on the idea on the other side. You go up, you come in, you filter out, and you go down through here. But traffic's at a standstill. The number of trucks is just unbelievable. There are commercial zones over here. I mean, the zonal stuff, I can go back to that. The zonal stuff, this high density stuff here. I got somebody complaining about the noise, even though the noise is probably not that bad. It's on that avenue, which sometimes argues trucks on it. If I open up the bridge, that's how I shut down the concepts. They can't cross the water. The trucks can't cross the water in all but two places. I think it's this one and that one that they can. So I don't know what's causing this upsurge in traffic that just doesn't make sense for the number of zones. Yeah, I got it here. I've let it run for this. It's running a profit right now. I could argue more zones, but yeah, single file. Pretty close to it. One side isn't, the other side is. Almost like it's locked in a standstill. But you'll see it move, be an inchworm. The metros or the trams argue through the traffic. Yeah, the transportation argument. Yeah, a little over 4,000 of them ride the mass transits. But these are delivery vans. Hundreds of them. Returning to facility. They're arguing no goods to sell, which means my commercial zones need more of them, but its demand is almost zero. So there's a tour of a city with way too many industrial arguments. These are going back to the industrial zone. See, if I understood that argument for that much, I could get through this crap. But now I got a traffic backup trying to get across that zone, coming out of this area, because it doesn't turn that fast. And all this is just to queue the vehicles to get to their factories. Just to queue it. TMPE allows me to argue no stop signs. This TMPE traffic manager, it does wonders. As BIFA, or there's another guy out there that does fix my traffic. But I'm dealing with volume issues. What I call the exponential growth of trucks. 4 trucks per factory, and you'd have 96 of them just in one block. And you look at the trucks coming through, there are not even close to 96 resource trucks. There are no specialized zones. I could probably pop a forestry one right up here in this one block just to do these areas. A forestry one right off this zone. They say do that and you'd cut your resource trucks in half, and I said I don't think so. Or this one over here. I really think it's a mechanical concept or a deliberate act of the developers arguing these zones, because if I keep adding the industrial demand, the number of trucks just explode even further. The backups go further. The arguments of this, you get the buildings to build, but you don't get them to do anything. I mean, I don't even know what the argument of this thing is. It's Frank's Gourmet Fish Stick Factory. Level 3 building, 7 overeducated workers. They don't have trouble finding workers. I just don't have enough places for educated workers to work, which is the commercial zones and offices. I mean, they could upgrade the buildings. Oh, this has built out. It's barking up trash concepts now. So in other words, I've gone up 1,000 people without even looking. The demand to live in the city is quite high. With no residential growth, those residentials grew. I mean, I love the landscape of the buildings, but the traffic problems are getting a little out of context here. I mean, I do stuff to these kinds of intersections just to get them to flow out, but this is getting ridiculous. They're backed up through the roundabout. Yeah, this used to be a good pathway through, but you add it, it becomes a chaotic mess. Yeah, they're going across, coming out, getting stifled, coming through the traffic, delivering their goods. I knew this place was bad, but it's generally the industrial backups that argue both directions. And I don't have any backups through the concept. You just can't churn that many trucks through it. There are just too many of them. The exponential truck problem. I don't mean to make people dizzy or go too fast here, but I've said enough.